Welcome to Knightline for Friday, March 12, 2021. I'm Nicholas Morales for School News and Announcements for Jose Marti MAST 6-12 Academy. All students grades 6-12, please remember to check for messages from your counselors on Edmodo and/or SCORE. Your counselors are trying to reach you. Please check your messages. Mr. Enriquez reminds you that official school business such as testing, especially for high school students, and other information is being sent to your student's state school's email account. Be sure that you have access to these email accounts and that you check them for emails each day. Your school email is available in your portal, or go to outlook.com and sign in with your IE number at students.dateschools.net, then enter your portal password to begin. The class of 2023 is hosting a fundraiser between 4 and 8 p.m. on Saturday, March 20th at Chipotle on 405 West 49th Street in Hialeah. Bring a flyer or use the order code below when you place an online order for pickup, and you will help out our class of 2023. Mark March 20th on your calendar for dinner out and support the class. March is Women's History Month. Each day this month we'll bring you a profile of a woman who's made her mark on history. Here's Camila Ramirez to tell you more about Anastasia Romanov.
Anastasia Romanov. In her early years, Anastasia was seen as kind of a disappointment to her parents since she wasn't a boy that they were hoping for the heir of the throne. Anastasia was quite an extrovert and was a great actor. She was very intelligent but never had any interest in academics. Rasputin was a counselor for Anastasia's mother who helped care for her ill son at the time. However, Rasputin was known to not have a good reputation in Russia, and many people were worried that he was able to get close to the girls. During World War I, the Romanov family became Red Cross members. Since Anastasia and her sister Maria were still too young to help, they helped by entertaining the soldiers and keeping them company. During the Russian Revolution, the Romanov family was captured by the Bolsheviks and under their supervision. The people wished for the Romanov family to be freed, and this feared the Bolsheviks, as they realized that true communism could not exist if the Romanov family was still alive, so they shot them all to death. There have been many false reports of girls claiming to be Anastasia Romanov. This inspired many movies and plays. However, no matter what, none of the girls matched the Romanov DNA.
Thank you, Camila. Odyssey of the Mind is back. If you're interested in joining, send Ms. Ellis-Reyes an email at msellis@dateschools.net, and she'll add you to the teams and send you the Zoom link. Meetings are every fourth Friday of the month. However, because of spring break, they'll be taking place on March 22nd at 2:30 p.m. via Zoom. The yearbook is available for pre-order at $40. Pre-purchase your copy at yearbookforever.com. Language Arts Homework Help is available every Thursday from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. The link can be found on the school website under the Students tab. While icy storms have reached deep into the south of the country this year, the long-term trend for Arctic sea ice is not looking so cool. With more information, here's Isol Rodriguez with The Earth Actually Matters.
This is The Earth Actually Matters. I am Isol Rodriguez representing the long decline of Arctic sea ice. Throughout 2020, the Arctic Ocean and surrounding seas endured several notable weather and climate events. In spring, a persistent heat wave over Siberia provoked a rapid melting of ice in the eastern Siberia and Laptev seas. By the end of summer, Arctic Ocean ice cover melted back to the second lowest minimum extent on record. In autumn, the annual freeze-up of sea ice got off to a late and sluggish start. But in a single month, season, or even year, it is just a snapshot in time. The long view is more telling, and it is shrouding. 40 years of satellite data show that 2020 was just the latest in a decades-long decline of Arctic sea ice. In a review of scientific literature, polar scientists Julian Stroeve and Dirk Knotts outlined some of these changes. In addition to shrinking ice cover, melting seasons are getting longer, and sea ice is losing its longevity. The longer melting seasons are the result of increasingly earlier starts to spring melting and ever later starts to freeze up in autumn. The map shows trends on the onset of freeze up from 1979 through 2019. Average across the entire Arctic Ocean, freeze up is happening about a week later per decade. That equates to nearly 1 month later since the start of the satellite record in 1979. The change is part of the cycle called the ice albedo feedback. Open ocean water absorbs 90% of the sun's ray energies that falls on it. Bright sea ice reflects 80% of it. With greater areas of Arctic Ocean exposed to solar energy early in the season, more heat can be absorbed, a pattern that reinforces melting. Until that heat escapes to the atmosphere, sea ice cannot regrow. This chart demonstrates another way that the Arctic is changing. The average age of the sea ice is becoming younger. At the start of the satellite record, much of the ice covering the Arctic Ocean was greater than 4 years old. Today, most of the sea ice covering the Arctic Ocean is first-year ice, ice that forms in winter and does not survive a single summer melt season. Dominated by thin first-year ice, along with some older ice thinned by warm ocean water, the Arctic sea ice pack is becoming more fragile. In summer 2020, ships easily navigated the Northern Sea route in ice-free waters and even made it to the North Pole without much resistance. Fortunately, summers are still not entirely ice-free. We've been hovering for some time around 4 million square kilometers of Arctic sea ice each summer, says Stroyev, a researcher at the University of Manitoba. She added that she intends to examine which conditions and processes could push ice to the next precipitous drop, when the extent of summer ice covered drops to a new benchmark of 3 million square kilometers. See you next time, team. The Earth actually matters.
Thank you, Isel. If you're feeling sad, lonely, or anxious, remember that help is all around you. The Mdcps Department of Mental Health Services is here for you, and there are many school resources available. Students can talk with some teacher, school counselor, or mental health professional who can guide you to and or assist with needed support. There's also a 24-hour crisis support line available. Call 1-800-784-2433 or text HELLO to 741-741 to get help. In Miami-Dade County Public Schools, mental wellness matters, and someone is here for you. That's it for us today. We'll see you next time.